So glad to see you on my channel. This video is a re-release of my old video because I think the sound was terrible there, and now I bought a microphone. By the way, write in the comments how do you like the new sound now. Unfortunately, today there are a lot of people who sincerely believe that there was no genocide, and it's just the Russian Empire that brought culture and civilization to the Caucasus. There are also people who know about all these atrocities, but justify it by saying that there was no other way to deal with them. They're savages. So, let's start to understand the squeaks of the generals. Major General Rostislav Fediev in Russia feared that the lands of the Adigs would become a springboard for a future war, so they decided to deal with the Highlanders and the Western Caucasus a little tougher than with the Lezgians and Chechens. We all understand how small it is. No one believed in the submission of the Circassians for a long time. The uprising in the Western Caucasus was as dangerous as a fire in a powder magazine. The Highlanders suffered terrible disasters. There is nothing to lock yourself in, because it could not have been otherwise. We could not back down from what we had started and abandon the conquest of the Caucasus, just because the mountaineers did not want to submit. It was necessary to exterminate the Highlander by half in order to force the other half to put down their weapons. But no more than a tenth of the dead fell from weapons. The rest fell from deprivation and harsh winters spent under blizzards in the woods and on bare rocks. The weak part of the population, women and children, was particularly affected. When the mountaineers settled on the shore for eviction to Turkey, at first glance an unnaturally small proportion of women and children against adult men was noticeable. During our pogroms, many people had fun in the woods alone, others huddled in places where no human foot had ever been before. General Sleptsov, 1844, what right do these savages have to live on such a beautiful land? With the finger of the Lord of the Worlds, our august emperor ordered us to destroy their villages. Destroy all men capable of carrying weapons. Burn crops, cut out pregnant women's bellies so that they do not give birth to bandits. General Tsitsianov, conquered Caucasus, 1804th year. I will destroy you all from the face of the earth. I will go with a flame and burn everything that I will not occupy with troops. I will cover the land of your region with your blood, and it will turn red, but you, like hares, will go into the gorge, and there I will get you. And if I do not note, then from the cold you will be sick. General Bulgakov, 1810th year. The report on the results of the campaign in Kabarda-Kabardian people CBT has never had such a sensitive loss. They lost a lot of property, which was burned in the villages. Fonville, the last year of the Circassian War for Independence, 1863, 1864 years. From all the places consistently occupied by the Russians, the inhabitants of the villages fled, and their hungry parties passed into the country in different directions, scattering the sick on their way. And those who were dying, sometimes whole crowds of migrants were tied up or carried with gentle blizzards, and we often noticed their bloody footprints as we drove by. Wolves and bears raked the snow and dug out human corpses from under it, the means of generals and Velyaminov in Circassia. In support of the idea of fear preached by Zaz, Circassian heads were constantly sticking out on peaks on a specially poured kurkan at a solid opa, and their beards were developing in the wind. It was sad to look at this disgusting sight. Once Zaz invited Madame Narishkina to his house, and she agreed on the condition that the enemy stakes would be removed. Zaz fulfilled her wish, and we were his guests. Going into the general's office one day, I was struck by some unbearable disgusting smell. And Zaz, laughing, led us out of the delusion, saying that his people probably put boxes with heads under the bed, and in fact pulled out in front of us a huge chest with several heads that looked at us terribly with their glass eyes. Why do you have them here? I objected. I boil them, clean them and send them to various anatomical offices to my friends and professors in Berlin. By the official order of General Vsez and Evdokimov, soldiers and officers of the Russian Imperial Army were allowed to abuse Circassian girls of 7 years old. And the predators and the po-savages of the Circassian barbarians did not think of such disgusting arts. For Philipson's memoirs, Zaz, according to custom, ordered the heads of the dead to be cut off and returned to his strong trench with this trophy. Kortzi, as you know, left 42 bodies in that battle. Then Phillips tells how he met Zasa in winter in Stavropol riding in a sleigh. Misasa's sleigh was still following her, completely hidden. Zaz explained, "I'm going on vacation and I'm taking Velyaminov to work on solved cases." Then he threw back the crawl and on the second sleigh showed Philipson about 50 Kuch skulls. Velyaminov himself, an associate of Ermolov and an admirer of French encyclopedists, paid soldiers and Cossacks a chervonets for the severed Kursk head, and then the father's head to the Academy of Sciences. And now, it would seem, the hair stands on end. How can you justify all this? But, unfortunately, there are people who justify it, that is, who are still proud of it. For example, a monument was erected to Zesu in Armavir on the Circassian land. That's it. If you somehow want to support our channel, then you can go to the description, you will find a link there, you can donate money to me there for the development of the channel, and also do not forget to subscribe to the channel, put likes and thank you all, for now.